Hey VC, what's going on? Alex here. Back again today to do another video. I guess it's been a couple of weeks now since I did those back-to-back vinyl updates. Yeah, it must have been a couple of weeks ago I did those. So I thought now was a good time to continue on and make another video. I'm going to call this a vinyl update, even though I actually only have a couple of records to show you today, but I thought I could kind of flesh it out with showing some other things which might be of interest to some of you guys. I'm going to show some of the birthday presents that I was given this year. I turned 20 years old on the 5th of August, so about a week and a half ago now. And boy, yeah, that was surreal. Turning 20, I didn't really realise what kind of effect it would have on me. But it kind of made me take a step back and realise that I've kind of left teenagehood now, and it's quite a surreal feeling because after being a teenager for so many years, suddenly turning 20, even though it's just another day and you're just another year older, it's kind of a weird psychological thing to turn 20. But yeah, that happened about a week and a half ago, and it's crazy to think, you know, how quickly time flies. I mean, for instance, I started this YouTube channel 2 years and like 9 months ago, which is crazy. It only seems like, you know, yesterday. Yeah, I turned 20 and I got some pretty awesome presents. I don't get as many presents as I used to get, obviously, because as you get older, that's just how it happens. But lots of people were sending me money, and you know, kind of long distant relatives that you never see, but they still, for some reason, feel obligated to send you money, and I can't complain. It's more money to spend on records and things that I want to buy, so that was pretty cool. I got a fair bit of money, which was nice. But on top of that, I got some really cool presents from my immediate family, notably my mum and, well, my parents in general, but mostly my mum, because she owns an antique store, and she's quite in touch with music-related antiques and things that you might, you know, not see every day in your average high street. And she came across some pretty cool things, and it was very kind of her to give them to me. So I thought I might as well show you the music-related gifts that I was given for my 20th birthday. So I'll start off with this one here. This was quite cool to find. It's not something I would have gone out of my way to buy myself, I guess, but it was cool that she thought to give me this, and actually having one now is really cool. And she got me a record bag. This is a Soul Jazz Records record bag. I'm not sure how many of you guys in the VC have record bags, dedicated record bags, but this is definitely for carrying records, and I like it because it's quite stylish, and it's also quite compact. You can kind of carry it on your shoulder, and it's not very substantial. You can kind of take it when you go record shopping, and yeah, as I say, not something I kind of was top of my list of priorities to buy, but I'm very, very grateful that she gave me this, and she thought about my vinyl addiction, and yeah, this is really cool. I'd say it could fit about 10 to 15 records in at a squeeze. So I'll definitely be taking this with me when I go record shopping in the future. But yeah, this was really cool to get. Not quite sure where she got this, but yeah, very happy to get this. And I'm saving the environment as well, which is awesome. Don't have to use plastic bags anymore that you get in indie record stores. Especially if you're buying a lot of records, you know, you're really using a lot of plastic, so you should definitely go out and get a record bag if you're a vinyl addict. But yeah, that was very cool to get. Second of all, another vinyl-related item which she very kindly sought out for me, and I'm pretty impressed that she found one of these, because I haven't seen one of these in even in a record store. And she doesn't use the internet, as far as I know. She's yeah, she doesn't use the internet at all. She's quite a traditionalist in that way, but she managed to find this somewhere, not sure where, haven't asked her, but she got me a Project anti-static record cleaner, and this was really cool. It was kind of a replacement for my I used to use a kind of dedicated record cloth that I used to wipe my records down and get the dust off, but this is much more effective. In fact, the cloth that I used before was pretty ineffective. It didn't really work at all, and considering I have such a bad dust problem in this room specifically, I don't know why. It might be to do with the attic being just above my head or something, but I have a really bad dust problem in this room, and the cloth that I was using was just not getting the job done whatsoever. But I think the fact that this is anti-static, it kind of removes the dust, and then I can close the cover before the dust has time to settle back on the record. So yeah, I've been using this on pretty much every record I've played since getting it, and it really does make my records sound a lot more pure and a lot more clean. Obviously there's no substitute for getting a dedicated record cleaner and cleaning your records properly before listening to them, but this is a great cheap way of keeping the dust off of your records. And I'd say definitely, if you can, get a project one like my mum's managed to find here, but kind of anything like this with a fine brush is perfect. But yeah, that was the second thing. That, again, was very cool to get. This third one here was actually from my brother, and for some reason, I have no idea how, but he seems to know my record taste, you know, kind of like the back of his hand. I have no idea why, because even though we have been quite close in the past and we have had chats about music and stuff, considering I've been at uni for the whole year, we haven't really had a lot of chance to talk about music and kind of recent things that I've been listening to. But he seems to know my taste pretty well, and he picked me up a really cool CD by a band that I'm really into at the moment. This, of course, is Tame Impala, In a Speaker. Sorry, the light's really bad, but yeah, you can see it. This is Tame Impala, In a Speaker. I'm pretty sure this is their first album. In fact, I'm almost 100% certain this is their first album. Of course, Lonerism came out last year, and that was hailed as one of the best albums of last year. I didn't actually hear it until early this year, in fact, and that's why it didn't make my top 10 albums of 2012, but most definitely, if I'd heard it last year, it would have, without question, made that top 10 list. Absolutely amazing record, and I'm intrigued to hear what this sounds like. I'd like to hear the kind of progression from their first album to this one and see how much they changed. But yeah, Tame Impala, definitely a band I'm really vibing with at the moment, and intrigued to hear what their first album sounds like, whether it's anything like Lonerism. But yeah, kudos to my brother for finding this and giving it to me. Seems like a pretty nice CD as well, so that was cool to get. And last but not least, on the gift front, this here was the most cool thing my mum's ever given me. I can't even believe she found this, and you know, I guess this does kind of fit in with her antique store. She could have had this as stock in her shop, but she decided to give it to me instead, and I'm so grateful to her for that, for giving me this. My first framed album, and what better album to have than Abbey Road? Framed. Just absolutely stoked to have this. I can't believe she went out of her way to find this and give it to me. She knows that I'm, you know, a big fan of the Beatles. I didn't know that she knew, you know, that well. I knew she knew that I like the Beatles, but to give me a framed copy of Abbey Road is just awesome. I can't thank her enough for this, and she really did a great job this year in finding stuff that is just gonna definitely be used and appreciated. And I can't put this up in this room, but I'm gonna definitely put this up in my new uni house. As soon as I move in there, this will be taking pride of place, because I have a pretty big room in my my new uni house, as I say. So as soon as I move in, this will be being mounted and put up, and just awesome to have this. It does say on the back here that you can dismantle it and play the record, but I'm not going to do that. It's great to have a framed album, and I already have a copy of Abbey Road anyway, so yeah, awesome to get. And she really came through this year with some awesome gifts. Yeah, it's just great to get things that I can really appreciate and use without just kind of throwing them away or just never using them. So yeah, that was all of the music related gifts that I received. So I'll move on now to the records which I picked up after my birthday. This first one here, I went down to the record store, as I said, on my birthday and picked this up. I was kind of deliberating over a couple of records, and I eventually settled on this one because I hadn't heard it. It was between this one and Laura Marling's most recent album, Once I Was an Eagle. But the difference was I'd heard that album a few times, and I was kind of quite used to hearing it, so I wanted to try something different considering it was my birthday, and finally settled on this. And it's a band that I'm not a massive fan of, so to speak, but I'd heard good things about it and I decided to pick it up. This is Siguros' most recent album, and I'm not even going to bother pronouncing the name because I will just completely make mincemeat of it. So I'm not going to say the name of this. I don't actually know the name of it, but it starts with a KV, I know that. But this is their most recent album, which came out, I'd say, about a month ago now. And yeah, I'd read some good things about this online. I'd read some positive reviews. And I guess my first exposure to Siguros was listening to Valtari last year. I downloaded that album and listened to it a few times, and I was kind of on the fence with it. There were a few tracks that really blew me away, and they did a video as well, which really, really fascinated me. It's kind of a boat moving across the water, but it was kind of a moving picture sequence, and put this really, really beautiful tune. I love that track, but there were some tracks on there that I didn't really care for. So I'd heard that their new stuff was kind of going back to their roots, some of the stuff they were doing on, you know, their kind of late 2000s records. This record was kind of going back to that era, and, you know, you can definitely hear it. It's got a much harder edge to it than Valtari, and much more aggressive, pummeling music, and I really, really dig this. I think it's great stuff. I think Siguros are going back definitely in the right direction, and I also picked it up because of the pressing. I really, really love the pressing on this. As you can see there, great gatefold with some amazing artwork, double LP, and it also comes with this bonus 10-inch EP, which I thought was kind of cool. I think this is exclusive to vinyl. You don't get this if you just pick up the CD, so yeah. If you're into Siguros or post-rock in any way, then you know, that's a very good album to pick up, because it wasn't very expensive either. So yeah, that was cool to get on my birthday. And second of all, here we have a record which I picked up when I went down to Bristol. I met up with my good friend Brandon for the first time. Me and Brandon, he is part of the VC, but he doesn't post videos at the moment. He did post a couple, but I think he took them down. But yeah, we decided to meet up for the first time because we have so much music we have in common that we like. So we thought we'll meet up in the city which was closest to both of us, and kind of tour the city and look for record stores, and kind of just spend the day chatting about music and going to record stores and crate digging and stuff. And it was a really great day, and we ended up finding a record store which was just completely insane. I think it was rated one of the best record stores in the country, or the best record store in the country by a magazine or something. So that was amazing, and we spent like 3 hours in there, and I think the guys in there just must have thought we were crazy, because we ended up not really buying anything apart from this one record, after spending like 4 hours, you know, looking at all of the records they had in there. So it was a crazy day. It was awesome, but I only picked up this one record because I was I was pretty short of money at the time, and but I'm so glad I picked this up. I don't have much time to talk about this because I'm running out of time, but I picked up Dr. Dre's 2001, and this came out in 1999 originally. This is a reissue on Back to Black. As far as I know, that's a great label, so it was great to find this. I'd seen it in a couple of places and passed it up, but in Bristol I just couldn't pass this up. I really wanted to hear it, so bought this, and it's quickly becoming one of my favourite hip-hop albums. I can only talk about it briefly because I'm running out of time, but yeah, if you guys kind of know, if you watched my video last year, my top 10 albums of 2012, you'll know that I was really getting into hip-hop, and yeah, Dr. Dre is kind of a legend, of course, of hip-hop, and finding this was awesome, and I can't wait to find some more hip-hop classics and buy them on vinyl. But I'll talk about that more maybe in another video. I've run out of time, so I'm going to cut it here. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'll definitely be back soon with some more videos, hopefully, and just keep doing what you're doing, because I've really enjoyed watching your videos recently. Everybody in the VC is posting great videos at the moment, so keep it up, and thanks for watching, and hopefully see you very soon. Okay, cheers guys.